jump ahead here. We talked a little bit about the internal organization of the company, so it encourages innovation. We talked a little bit about developing the people, so it encourages innovation. What about those pesky people, the users, right? So how do you integrate them into your design process? How do you not so much respond to them, but anticipate what they want? I think we'd all agree that real innovation is going beyond what we talked a little bit about this with the A/B testing. You want to go beyond what the customer is asking for. How do you integrate users in the design process? Charles, maybe you can.
Oh, wow. It is central to what we do. So, I mean, just as an example, our kind of design goal right now is to enable all of you to run your business from your phone, right? What does that mean? It means something different to everyone in this room. So who then is the person that we're trying to enable with that capability first? For Salesforce, it's probably an outside sales rep. So that means that I need a team of designers that understand those people better than they understand maybe their teenage kids, right? So we have a team of extremely creative researchers who do all sorts of different kinds of interventions to get not just the designers, but the engineers and especially the product managers, who, for those of you who have that title in this room, again, be really humble about your model of the user, because I find that for some reason you guys have the biggest gap. You really are confident you know what they want and who they are, right? And if you can tie that behind your back, that confidence, you're going to get better results. So we do tons of stuff. I was just watching a video of my colleague Rick Boardman, who's a researcher, watching somebody log a client call on the highway in an SUV outside Dallas, this tile salesman, right? So I think it's super important that we make that call logging feature efficient just to save some lives, right? So yeah. That's how we do it. And his camera's shaking a little because he's nervous.
So Catherine, I mean, how would you answer that? That I think most of the time consumers don't know what to ask for. They don't know what's possible.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
how do you balance that?
One of the core values for us is really having deep customer empathy. And you used a word that I really like, a couple words actually, but one of them was anticipate. And if you know your customers incredibly well, you're going to be able to see the gaps and create products that anticipate their needs and ultimately empower them and delight them. And that's where you create real long-term loyalty. So for us, it's spending a lot of time out in the field with our customers. We're doing a lot of work around mobility now, so we are following the day in the life of people and understanding how they transition from one task to the next. And we know with mobile devices, people are inserting them in and out of their day. And we know that they're multitasking. We know that they're driving their car and they're checking their device. So for us to be out there and watching and observing this as opposed to asking for things that people can't even imagine, that's what's really key, and that's what makes us go, aha, I see where we can add value. We can make this task much easier for someone, or there's a solution that's not out there that we should be looking at because there's a big gap where we could be helping people.
Steve, what
yeah, so in the 80s, if you had talked to people that were watching movies at home, how to make that experience better, they'd say create a faster rewind button. They would never think of Netflix. So I think that there's a combination, right? You ask people, they say, I want a faster rewind button, and then you try to throw, just some fun, and I liked Larry's term of playfulness, and then say, well, what if there was no rewind button, right? So you can hopefully try to jump a couple evolutionary cycles in saying, I understand what people want, let me paint a picture of something that they've never seen before, but I understand their goal and their need, and if I can still hit that need and then exceed that expectation, I think that we're onto something.